It shouldn't be that way. Even cry. I think people that cry, that they're brave enough to cry in public, are very strong.
To cry in public?
To cry in public, like if you feel moved by something, or you're sad, or you're like very, very happy, and you like start crying in public. There's people that will never do that. There's people that will run to the bathroom or just like cover their faces. They feel ashamed for crying in public.
I thought you meant like just like,
What?
I'm gonna just go crying at Walmart. Welcome to another episode of The Benevolent Show. How are you?
I'm great. I'm feeling on my best right now.
Really?
It's an amazing day, Tuesday. A little bit cloudy, but I'm here, I'm breathing, I'm feeling healthy and positive. We have a really good workout this morning, you and I. I felt very accomplished with the result of it.
It was tough. It was tough this morning. We usually go and wake up at 4 something and go to CrossFit at 5 a.m.
We're those kind of people.
Yeah, but this morning we had planned to go at 6 a.m. and I woke up at 5:45 and I was like, hey, there's no way I'm going to make it. He's like, hey, come on, let's go. We can be a little bit late. It's fine.
So extra motivation there. Because, it's like, it's important to be on time. Like, if you need to be on a wedding or someone else's birthday, or you have a meeting at a certain time, be early. If you are on time, you're late. You need to be like 15 minutes before, 10 minutes before, But I also believe that in life, you need to give yourself room for flexibility. And we were there 5-6 minutes after the time. We still have opportunity to stretch a little bit, warm up really good, and we nailed it.
Oh, it was good. No, I appreciate you like giving me that extra push. Like, hey, let's go, because that was really good. We like to start just so you can be as happy as we are after feeling accomplished today by giving you some uplifting news.
Yes, there's not a better way to improve our moods than with some uplifting news. Let me start. I have two very interesting for today's. Slowest student in the world finish UBC degree 54 years after he first enrolled. What?
That's funny because it's like, imagine being labeled as like, hey, you're really famous. Yeah, what for? I'm the slowest student in the world to graduate. You're like, nice.
Well, he finished it. That's pretty cool. In the case of Arthur Ross, that time off lasted about 5 decades. Wow. The 71-year-old is set to accept his Bachelor of Arts degree at a convocation ceremony at the University of British Columbia on Thursday, 54 years after he first enrolled. Wow. Ross arrived at UBC's Point Grey campus in 1969.
Shit.
Having graduated from nearby Prince of Wales Secondary. It felt like a natural progression as he had family members who were UBC graduates. He left his studies at UBC to attend the National Theatre School of Canada in Montreal. He learned that acting appealed to him. The life of an actor didn't. He went on to study law in Toronto and spent 35 years as a litigator in BC. Wow.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, and thinking about what he said right there, it's just one of those people that had probably, had started a career or pursuing a career, like a bachelor's degree or whatever. And then they were like, okay, I'm going to just go actually try something different and try life out. In he went and enrolled in a theater and tried the acting life and liked acting, but didn't like the actor's life. That's understandable. And that's pretty hard
Mhm.
because imagine being born in the 60s or the 50s, right? And your parents are like, you have the peer pressure of everybody around you. Your parents are pushing you to go to college. Your friends are going to college. People around you are like, hey, if you don't go to college, you're a failure and you have to finish within this time. Like, there's always like a deadline. And I think there's nothing worse than measuring yourself with somebody else's watch. And I think this is one of those examples where he said, fuck it. I'm going to just go do my thing. But imagine, I don't know, I'm just thinking like, I fail in everything. So I'm going to go back to college like my dad told me. So
Indeed is very interesting because he was born way earlier. He just like went to the school or college in the late 60s. And he said it was always one of those things, even as I was practicing law, thinking someday I'll go back and finish that off. He returned to class in January 2017 with a focus on studying history and completing his final year of studies. He was determined to get his degree, but he was also determined not to rush it. The plan always was one course at a time, he said. I wasn't going to sit down and take 5 courses all at once. As the year progressed, Ross got to know his young classmate and was impressed by those who kept going through the COVID-19 pandemic. That's great.
damn.
While Ross will be the slowest graduate at UBC, he won't be the oldest. That honor goes to 78-year-old Yi Seon Pang, who is set to receive a Bachelor of Art in Linguistics, his second UBC degree, and his 5th university degree overall. Ross, 54 years to graduate, exceeds the longest time taken to complete a university degree registered with Guinness World Records, who began a biology.
Guinness?
Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's impressive. Like it's
Oh my
impressive because exactly what you said. Like it took him 54 years and he was always present on his mind. Like, I gonna get back and finish that up. Right now, I'm just taking care of some other stuff. Like he was a lawyer for 34 years of his life. He did his career on what he wanted to do it. And then he just get back and it's like, okay, I'm gonna be, and he took his time.
I mean,
Even
to be the slowest student in the world. I'm
even
sure you
after
took your
those
time.
50 something years that he took 4 years more, like one course at a time, and we sometimes feel this social pressure, or even we put that pressure on ourselves, like, oh, so I'm gonna go to med school and have 5 years to finish. What if it takes you 10, 20, 25 years? You shouldn't feel bad if someone approached to you. It's like, hey, after 10 years, oh, how's med school going? Oh, I'm still going. I'm still attending. I'm still planning to finish that up. And I think that's the right mindset to have in those situations. Like, there's not an actual timer that says, if you don't do this in this amount of time, you're a failure. No. You just need to keep pushing, keep grinding, and take as much time as you need, because at the end of the day, it's our time.
Totally. I mean,
Yeah, 54 years, that's quite something. But you know what I mean.
But take your time. You can graduate in 50 years.
He did it, though. That's what matters.
Yeah. Yeah. Which it's crazy to think like people back then were so crazy about going to college and graduating. And nowadays, it's like college. What's that? To get in debt and never pay back?
Yeah, let's just make some TikToks and just like cash out 10 millions a year.
Hey, that's good.
There's some cases.
Yeah, if you want to be a doctor, you can just go to school. There's some careers that you do need to go to school and in that school. But like some people, like, I'm gonna go to school to be whatever. Like, I don't know. There's like there is a bachelor's degree about anything that you can learn. You know what my best classroom is?
No.
YouTube.
YouTube?
YouTube.
Like, what you mean? In which context? Like,
I feel like in YouTube I can learn way more than somebody can learn in a college
oh, you're
in
talking
5 years.
the knowledge that you can get from YouTube. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, that's my class. I mean,
Yeah,
whenever
yeah,
I
no,
say I'm gonna
feel
go
you.
to class, and people, I make that joke, and people are like, where are you going to class? I thought you were done with college. No, I'm just going to my office and getting on YouTube and
YouTube.
learning.
I feel you. Like sometimes I have a certain doubts and I want to like know something, be aware of something. I just like type that question on YouTube and I have a video or several videos of a really good explanation, not only in audio but in video of that thing, that specific subject I want to know. And that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Which make me feel privileged, honestly. Because do you remember, like, by example, Ross back in the 69, he couldn't just like go to his super computer that fit on his pocket and just type something in YouTube and find it out, you know?
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean,
the world we live in. I do have another really, really good uplifting news. This is actually my favorite one from the ones that I brought today. Man completes 3 Peaks charity challenge carrying a fridge on his back to support mental health awareness. Literally a fridge.
a fridge.
A fridge.
What? Why a fridge? That's funny. Like, is that symbolic?
The fridge, this is, his name is Michael Copeland from Stafford. Successfully complete the challenge in just under 24 hours. Heck yeah. The fridge had words related to mental health written on it to capture people's attention and start talking about mental health awareness. And then he said, I am a massive overthinker and always think I am not good enough. I always want to be doing more. Mr. Copeland said, the fridge represents the burden that mental health can have on us all.
Wow. That's really cool. I thought it was something like that. I was like, but the funniest part to me is that why a fridge? It's like, it could have been anything else, you know, like a table, a chair, but this guy was just, I'm just gonna put a fridge on my shoulders and go for a hike. Can you imagine just people going up to him like, hey, stop, you got any snacks over there, man? It looks like you got something. Or was the fridge empty?
I'm pretty sure that was empty. It doesn't say if it was empty or not, but I will not carry a full fridge.
Got a pot full of black beans in that fridge, and just like, you know, get tired, you got your snacks. It's a pretty good thing, you know. Better than a backpack. Keeps your snacks, your milk.
Hear this out.
Cold.
My legs just didn't want to work. I was thinking, I just don't want to fail. I come this far. I can't fail now. During the last hour, we had to run because logistic meant we didn't have time on our side. We just knew we wouldn't make it unless we ran. Michael completed 3 peaks in 23 hours and 50 minutes and has raised just under £5,000 for the charity Mind. Well, congratulations, Michael. Thank you for supporting this amazing cause, which is mental health. Very important. We need to take care of our body and our mind equally.
Yeah, especially, I think our mind, to keep our mental health in check nowadays is very important. I mean, it's always been, but it's very important to break the stigma around. There's stigma around mental health awareness. Everybody's like, I mean, you're going to therapy. That means you're crazy. Like, you're straight up nuts. Yeah. And you're like, no.
That ain't good.
Everybody needs some therapy, and you could use some of that. Just to sometimes just being heard. It makes a total difference. You know, you feel less lonely. You feel like there's somebody there who cares, and you start figuring things out on your own. Sometimes just by talking and not even getting advice, it's not necessarily about what you're gonna get. It's more about what you get from yourself just by talking. Pretty cool how that works, but
Yeah. Yeah. Letting all that out. Letting all that. I also believe that we need more exposure. We need to prioritize exposure to positive things. Like the benevolent show. There you go. That's the first one you need to prioritize right there. But no, like for real. A hike, a conversation with your best friend from 10 years that live in the other side of the country. Just text your grandma right now and tell her, Grandma, I fucking love you. Why not? Like that, those little amount of positivity through the day, they stack up, they build up, and it's good for the mind.
grandma's gonna be like, who the fuck?
What?
Who the fuck teach you? Who the fuck taught you to cuss? You can't be cussing. You can love me, but you can be cussing around me. Just kidding.
And I'm gonna text us like, you just did, Grandma. Come on.
Yeah. Grandma, we love you. All grandmas. Grandmas are cool. I like grandmas.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Grandmas
miss
forever.
I miss mine. She's back in Venezuela. But
Same.
yeah. There's something in my eye, man.
Yeah. It's raining now.
Yeah.
Well,
but no, it's all about, like you said, being kind. Make sure that you text somebody that you haven't talked to in a while. Go for a walk and talk to that stranger. And I think a simple act of kindness can change somebody's day, somebody's life,
yeah.
somebody's moment, decisions. And today, that's really good, because today in our episode, we explore the extraordinary power of human kindness. I brought a story here today that I found very interesting, and it goes, being nice is a weapon.
Ooh, I like that.
And this is under petty revenge.
Okay.
This is a guy who grew up in a totalitarian dictatorship, and my dad taught me that being nice is a powerful defensive weapon and can also be very fun. At first, I did not understand, but fast forward a decade and a half, a stint in a UN refugee camp, and now a life as a newlywed in a Western country, and I understood. As newlyweds, we moved into the suburbs and got a dog, a really, really great dog that was friendly and sweet, but a total nut. And we walked him regularly. One couple in our neighborhood, nice-looking people, had 2 terrier-type dogs that looked like carbon copies of each other, except that the one was standard size, about as tall as the average German Shepherd, while the other dog was a mini version of the big one. He walked the big dog, she walked the little dog, and they were haughty, to put it mildly. You know, those kind of people that are like your neighbors, and they're walking the dogs and they give you the side eye like this, and you're like, what you looking at?
Like your neighbors? I have a secret war with Braulio's neighbors, but I'm not going to get into that because they might find out, and they don't see anything coming. Keep going.
I have a bunch of neighbors, so they will never find out which ones they are.
It's a toss-off. There can be really friendly, like, oh my God, this person is so friendly. Or they're just like walking, it's like, what the fuck, dude?
So in this case, they would not ever reply to any neighbors who said hello to them as they walked by, usually in our neighborhood. And they certainly were not going to permit our common mongrel to mix with our fancy dogs. So I ran an experiment of my dad's theory. Be really, really nice to them. Like, really nice. I would not just say hello. I would smile, ask how they're doing in the mildest, kindest, gentlest way, but consistently and persistently. After 3 to 4 months, they would acknowledge me. Perhaps not with a greeting, but with a nod. Like, so. Or not even so. Like, after 6 months, they would smile back. And eventually, they would say hello to me. Victory was mine. Let's go. But there's more. The couple moved out of my neighborhood, and I had no contact with them for perhaps a year. Then I had a baby and started attending a mother and baby group where a nurse checks on the baby's growth and development, and moms with similarly aged babies let the little ones play, crawl while they decompress and chat. The moms. No sooner had I sat down than a woman waved at me from across the room, asking me to join her, happy and smiling and showing me her baby and gushing over mine. It turned out to be that same lady of the haughty dog walking couple. How awesome a petty revenge. I made her like me despite herself. And that shows that you can kill him with kindness.
That's life. Everything that you put out there comes back to you eventually in a different way, in a different form, but it gets back to you.
They were so like, hey, like, who are you with that mud? Like, kind of like that demeanor, walking around. And he proved that his dad's theory was true. And I think being kind, again, I'm going to make emphasis on this. I already said it, but being kind can change somebody's life. And it's all we can do. Like, when you think you can't do anything, when you're talking to that stranger, that person in front of you, that family member, your mom, your grandma, your wife, your husband, whoever, and you're like, I'm useless right now about this particular topic, or an issue or whatever you're talking about, just be kind and you'll see how that works.
I really found funny how you like approach to the mic when you said like the word kind. It's like get the deep voice, like be kind, boy, be kind.
Just be kind. Just be kind.
Yeah, and understand that it's a personal thing. You're not being kind for others, but for yourself. You want to be kind because that's the way you want to be treated.
There are some comments over here that it's funny. You can see the impact that it had done. Because some people are like, it worked. And now I'm sucked in like you as well. Evil genius.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another one that says, shamefully, I was rude to a service worker. To no fault of her own. I was on a high dose of prednisone that made me extremely irritable. But there was no way she would know that. After she was done helping, she smiled and said, I hope your day gets better, in the sweetest voice. More like, I hope your day gets better. And then I've yet to feel so pathetic and small being pitied. My delusion of entitlement disintegrated instantly. Well played. That's the worst. When you're like, when those moments that you feel like you're grumpy, and I think it's happened to everybody. You're grumpy, you're in a bad mood, and you're just like barking at people and stuff. And you're somehow you're expecting this energy to come back to you so you can go at it with this person. And they come back and it's like, hey, I hope your day turns to be the greatest day ever for you, my friend. And have a blessed and like amazing day with this energy that you're just like, motherfucker, why are you not grumpy like me? And then you're just like, you can't help but smile back. And this is a fact. It's a proven fact that when you're grumpy and you're moody and whatever it's going on, you force yourself to smile. And you could start improving your mood by just like, you start like, this deal right here, like, I don't know. I don't feel like happy right now. And you're like, well, wait a minute. I'm just starting to feel a little tingly, a little good, like what's going on?
Yeah, but you know what I've been noticed? Like when people is like, oh, you like, if someone is rude to me, or because I found myself in that position where I'm not that friendly, and that person is like, oh, I hope that you have the best day ever and the flowers bloom to you. I know that person deep inside on his mind is like, fuck you. When you like can see that on people, but sometimes you had that from other people and like you feel it, like this is genuine. This is also what that person had on his mind, but sometimes it's not.
Well, it's a choice. It's a choice because no matter what it's crazy. Like we live in the South, and this is a thing that I've always said since I got here, because I'm coming from the Northeast. I'm coming from Boston, and I'd rather be told "fuck you" than "oh, bless your heart," because it doesn't feel genuine. It feels like this person that just like blessed my heart genuinely wanted to say "fuck you."
Oh yeah, I seen a lot
But
of
it but
those.
it, but it works. I used to be like, yeah, rather than telling me like
You feel
fuck
that
you in
your
the face,
heart is
because it's
blessed?
just I feel like the kindness, no matter what, like if they're actually telling me fuck you, the kindness makes a difference. It's like kind of like you really did tell me fuck you, and I should just get the fuck over myself and whatever I'm just being entitled right now and live my life and not be a grump, and getting called out in that way from a kindness place makes a really huge impact, bigger impact than somebody trying to go at it with you and from a like hate or um really bad place and confrontational. That's the word I was looking for. Confrontational. Like, okay, I'm ready to fight with you. Are you ready? Let's see who's grumpier.
Yeah, I think intention plays a big part on that because you might be angry with somebody or irritated by somebody, but you can just go like, "Hey, I hope you have a good day, buddy." Just be intentional
Yeah.
about it. I have something here that I love quotes. I hope that you guys know that by now. And I want to share one from Marcus
by, by
Aurelius.
by now we only have one episode out. I hope you made.
I'm trying to be transparent here. I'm an open book,
No,
even
but
when we only have 2 episodes out.
I hope you made. I hope you referenced 300 quotes by the last on the last episode, so people can know by now.
Um, Marcus Aurelius. I like better how we sound in Spanish, Marco Aurelio, but hey, I do the best I can, guys. Be kind to everyone, even to those who are rude to you. It is their problem, not yours. What do you think about that?
I think that's lovely. I really
I
really
know,
like that.
right?
It truly is their problem. It's not yours.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck is going on in their mind, and all you can do is be kind. That's really profound.
That's powerful, my friend.
But you know why I think that is because sometimes we tend to absorb the mood that the other person is in or the issues that they're going on. Like I think it comes from being empathetic. Somebody's grumpy, and if you're so empathetic, you're gonna want to feel like, okay, I need to be moody, I need to be angry, I need to be whatever the emotion of this other person is having. I need to adapt to that. But that's very clear from that quote where it's like, hey, I'm gonna be kind because it's not my problem, it's actually yours.
Yeah, and we never know, you know? People have their own struggles, their own demons that they're fighting. So that person might be the most lovely person in the world, but he's just having a shitty day and he's just being grumpy around people.
Totally. I think
You just got an email.
I just got an email from
Okay.
Nordstrom.
Hey, there you go.
They're like, hey,
Like spring outfits coming out.
spring outfits.
Yeah.
More like summer.
Ah, yeah, it's almost summer.
Yeah.
Thanks God. I'm tired of this cold, man.
Yeah. Well, it's been great in Tennessee.
Oh yeah, we're from the South. Yeehaw.
Oh god. Oh my god. That was good. That was great. I brought this other story that goes with being nice and kindness, and I thought it was really cool. It says a simple act of kindness changed the trajectory of a young man's life, and this is brought by NPR. And it says, this story is part of my Unsung Hero series from the Hidden Brain team, which is another podcast. It's about people whose kindness left a lasting impression on someone else. In our day-to-day lives, there are moments when we get to decide whether we want to offer a helping hand. These gestures often feel trivial to us, but sometimes have the power to change the course of someone's life. This kind of transformative experience happened to Bill Price when he was 15 years old. It was the fall of 1972, and Price was attending a reunion for a summer program he'd taken part in a few months before. He remembers standing outside at the end of the day, catching up with friends. Eventually, everyone said their goodbyes, leaving Price standing by himself. And sometimes when you're alone, it's okay, Price said. Sometimes when you're alone, you feel bereft and abandoned. And that's the way I felt then. Nearby, another group of teenagers stood laughing and talking. I found myself wishing so much to be a part of that group, Price remembered. One of the people in the group was a person named Wendy Westman. She and Price had only met in passing at summer program a few months earlier. As Price stood there, feeling increasingly lonely, Westman turned around and asked him if he'd like to join her group. My life was transformed in that moment, Price said. Westman reaching out sparked a realization in Price. He could offer the same kindness to anyone, at any time. It's so easy to see someone who seems left out and alone and notice them, say hello to them, be kind to them, Price explained. And my realization was that is a gift that we can all give. Price went on to become a psychiatrist. A primary part of his job is being kind to his patients, listening to them and being attentive to their needs. Price attributes his understanding of the importance of kindness to that moment when he was 15 years old. To the extent that I'm a good person in my life today, it's probably due to Wendy Westman inviting me to join her group.
Oh, there's a lot there. There's a lot there. Wow. I wanna know your feedback first, because I have some I might feel related a little bit in some aspects, so I want to have your feedback first.
Okay, I think how many times have you heard the story of, like, somebody? I think there was a story in San Francisco. I don't know. It might have not been in San. It doesn't matter. The story is that there was a guy who was he had made up his mind. He was about to jump off the bridge, end his life, and he said that if somebody along the way,
smile to him.
Yeah,
that's the story.
Yes,
oh my God, yeah, I know this story. He was like determined to end his life. This guy, he was about to jump from a bridge. We don't know if it was San Francisco, but on his way there, there's another person walking in the opposite direction. They make eye contact, and this other person smiled to him. Like, it was like a just super, super subtle gesture. Just a smile, and just like, that was it. And this guy completely changed his mind. He just didn't feel like end up his life after that. He just felt it was like a warm gesture to him. Like, it moved him so much that he completely changed his mind about to killing himself. That's the power that you have when you express kindness. And I bet that this person didn't have a clue. He was just being himself,
Yeah, I mean, that's the power of weapons. And the weapon being nice.
The weapon is being nice. Kindness.
Killing with kindness. What was your story about? You said that you had something that made you think that there was something like that.
Well, when we find ourselves in situations where we're down, because everybody have those times in their life. We're down, depressed, we have anxiety, we feel overwhelmed, and we lock ourselves we lock ourselves and we don't allow to that positivity reach us. We just lock ourselves with all those shadows and bad thoughts. And it's necessary for us to let the door open, you know?
Oh yeah. I mean, people used to believe that vulnerability was a sign of weakness. And I think vulnerability is a sign of strength. Sometimes the more vulnerable you can be is your way of opening to someone else and people around you and showing your humanity. And that actually makes other people feel comfortable with you, and they feel comfortable being vulnerable around you. And it shows a lot because it shows that you are trying to stay open, you're trying to stay teachable, you're trying to learn from others rather than hiding and, you know, like being hidden in your ego and feeling like, no, I'm just the strongest person in my mind is it's unbreakable. And, you know, that type of mentality that I feel like people who are like that are usually the people who have the most issues internally in their demons. And sometimes I just want to even approach more and try to make, not make, but like try to like let this person that I can be vulnerable, so can you. And I'm not gonna think of you as a weaker person. I'm actually gonna think of you as a strong person, and therefore I will have more respect for you than just me having to deal with your ego.
Yeah. Yes. How I see it is that sharing of vulnerabilities is a way for you find strength with other person. Like, yeah, I lack on this. Oh yeah, I lack on this. I don't feel very good at this. It's like, okay, now you guys are aware of. It can be a friend, it can be your girlfriend, it can be your wife, your parents, and that motivates you or helps you to like understand you better, the people that surrounds you, and help each other to be stronger together facing these vulnerabilities. Because everybody had those, you know? Let me read something to you. And this goes like this: you cannot do kindness too soon, for you never know how soon it will be too late. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
I like that quote.
You like it?
I really like that quote.
It's awesome.
It also just not even about the kindness. Sometimes we are so fixated with how we perceive time and that we label it. We just we're measuring our own time and we go like, oh no, this is it's too soon to be kind, or it's too soon to do this, or it's too soon to say this to this person, without knowing that in reality it might actually be too late. And you perceive it this certain way that you're like, you know, I think it's so interesting how we all humans just have different perceptions, and maybe the other person that you're having the interaction with is like, ah, if only, you know, I wish this person would say something really nice to me because I need it. Or sometimes somebody's needing a hug and they feel vulnerable to even ask for a hug, or like, or you know, feel soft and weak, and to say, I need a hug. And it's like, what the hell? Just ask for a hug or hug me, or like, hey, you even ask like, hey, you need a hug. Those are moments that sometimes, if you even if you're having a terrible day, can just go a 180.
And it's because of the vulnerability issue. We just, I don't know, if I ask for a hug, I'm gonna look weak or I'm gonna even feel weak,
Yeah.
you know? Which it shouldn't be that way. Even cry. I think people that cry, that they're brave enough to cry in public, are very strong.
To cry in public?
To cry in public, like if you feel moved by something, or you're sad, or you're like very, very happy, and you like start crying in public, there's people that will never do that. There's people that will run to the bathroom or just like cover their faces. They feel
Oh, I
ashamed for
see. I see
crying
what
in
you mean.
public.
I thought you were like, I thought you meant like just like
What?
I'm gonna just go crying at Walmart.
Why would I go cry at
I
Walmart?
don't know. It's just like I thought
Why
of it as
Walmart specifically?
that was just I don't know. It could be whatever.
That's on your mind. You tell
Could be.
me.
I'm just gonna go. Hey, I'm gonna go be strong by crying at Walmart. All right, I'll be right back.
Well, damn. Okay.
No,
What about this one? This one is a little bit different, but it also talks about kindness. And it goes like this. A part of kindness consists in loving people more than they deserve. This is from Joseph Joubert. Loving people more than they deserve. That's something that comes with kindness.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what this person, if this I don't know. That's yes, but sometimes you can get a little controversial with that because sometimes there are people out there that you're like you don't even deserve my kindness.
Well, that's what the quote says.
But like people, I think yes, on a general, it's a general rule, yes. But if there's some people who are terrible people. You know what I'm talking about, like terrible people who have done crazy stuff,
like criminals
to
and stuff like that.
To humankind, like even above like certain crimes, not just regular ass criminals that
You know what's interesting that you mentioned that? Because recently I seen a couple of videos. I don't remember exactly where. I think it was Twitter, about people in court. Like, I remember that the last one I saw was this woman saying to the murder of her child, I forgive you. Like, she went to him.
Damn,
she went to
crazy.
him and hugged him. She went to him and hugged. I don't remember the context. I don't know how this person killed and up the life of this woman child, but she said, I forgive you. And life goes on. Like, she was like so determined to express kindness and love.
Damn, that's hard right there. I don't know if I would.
Well, but that's the point. It's not easy. It's not a thing that you can just do. It's, you know what's easy? Say to that motherfucker, I hope that you fuck rot in hell because you killed my child. It's hard to show love and kindness to someone that take somebody from your life forever, your own child. That's just intense. And this woman was strong enough to do that. I think that's admirable.
That's crazy. I mean, it's like, it makes me think in that particular case that there's gotta be a boundary when you can forgive somebody. So I'm sorry. Like, I'm just thinking, if I had a child and somebody murdered it, I would have a really hard time going to hug that motherfucker.
I'm right there with you. What I'm saying, my main point, I'm right there with you, brother. What I'm saying is that it is hard. It is more hard to do the right thing, and it's way easier to do the wrong thing.
No, I understand the message, but I'll leave it up to you too. I mean, is there a boundary? Is there a line? Is there a line for forgiveness? Is there a boundary that you cannot cross before you forgive somebody? Leave it in the comments.
Yes, please. I also would like you guys to express how you share kindness. It doesn't have to be something big, like doing a record with a fridge on your back, but I don't know, something simple, something small that you might do for your significant other, your brother, your sister, your parents.
An act of kindness that you've done, or an act of kindness that you've been thinking of doing, and just do it. I'd like to hear your stories as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening to all of us and to share your also uplifting news with us. You guys are going to keep seeing us often. So just get used to it.
Yeah, I hope you guys liked this episode. And we'll see you in the next time.
Hey, yeah.
Vámonos.